start to wake our bodies up. And so this week, we've been just kind of moving and also sensing inside, right? So as you move around and come to stillness, bring yourself to what feels like a mountain pose. And then you can either defocus or close your eyes and just start to sense into your mountain pose. Where is everything? And if anything feels like it's not quite lined up for mountain pose, hi Joan, you're going to need a block and a strap if possible, and a chair or a wall nearby. Okay, so we're going to come, starting with the feet, making sure they're square on the mat, four corners of the feet. Energizing the legs. Hips over ankles, and just, think about where everything is, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, and arms by your side with the palms turned forward. And just internalize this feeling of being in your mountain pose. Especially we want to use the feet a lot with the four corners of the feet. And then just start to sense your breath moving through. Maybe with each inhale, it gets a little fuller and moves a little deeper. We're working toward getting the breath all the way to the tips of the toes, the tips of the fingers, and the crown of the head. And after your next exhale, just let everything loosen up. Take your legs a little wide. And we're going to add some shoulders to a deep breath. So this is just what feels comfortable to you move. Just bring your arms up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So just make yourself nice movement here. Opening up the shoulders. Nice deep breaths as you go. Maybe you want to go a little slower. Maybe you're going a little faster. One more time like this, and then we're going to pause and just go 3 times in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3. And we do less of that because most of our day is spent in forward motion. So we work more on the backward motion right now. All right, and keeping the feet slightly wider than hip width distance and grounding them, we're going to work on our spinal moves here. So bring your hands to your thighs, knees and hips are soft, round forward into your cat and arch into your cow. Your hands are going to move up and down the thighs as you go cats and cows here. And the next time you're forward, just breathe into that space in between your shoulder blades and roll up to standing. Inhale and exhale. Take your feet wider than hip width distance as you would for a 5-pointed star or moonflower. So not so wide like we do for warriors and triangles. Okay, and then turn your feet out. Square off the feet. When you bend your knees, they're going over the middle of your foot, right? That comes from squaring off the feet. If you are standing in on your arches, your knees are going to go in. If you're rolling out, your knees are going to go out and you'll lose balance, okay? So now we're just going to go side to side. Turn your left palm facing up by your thigh, and as your knees bend, reach to the left and it on the other side. So we're just going side to side. If the arm up by the ear is a bit much for the shoulder, then keep your arm more in line with the shoulder. So you can do this either way, just look for that nice little side stretch happening here. Okay, so we're warmed up now. The next time you're tilted to the left, just stay here, release a little bit and come back to the left. Release a little bit and back to the left. Release a little and come back to the left. Feel that nice stretch. Now float your left arm up and press those left fingertips away from you. Okay, we're going to come up and switch. We're taking it over to the right. Release and to the right. And the next time you're over to the right, stay there, float your right arm up, press your right fingertips away, bring it up, and shake it out. Shake out your legs, give them a little break, inhale and exhale. All right, so the weekend's coming. We're gonna make sure the body's nice and awake and alive. We're gonna have the feet slightly wider than hip width distance and tapping on the door of life side to side. Just let your lower body move naturally here. We're not trying to ground it. We're just letting it move naturally. And then the arms can start to come up, come away from the body. And when you get to shoulder height, we'll do our immunity tapping, gentle fist right under the collarbone, right under the collarbone. And then let the arms come away from the body again and come up as high as they want to. Start coming back down, shoulder height. Return to some immunity tapping here. And away from the body, lowering until you get back down to where you're once again tapping on the door of life. Good, and then just let your body come to rest at center. Find your mountain pose again. So as you move into mountain pose, go there and then assess. See how it went for you. Line things up if it needs to be, and breathe. See how things are feeling. What do you sense in your body now that you've been moving? All right, and let's shake things out. Great, so I mentioned standing on the block to start to open up the hips. And take your block, put it either arm's length distance or a little closer from the wall or your chair. Whatever foot is closest to the wall, put that on the block. We're going to start out facing forward, and you may wind up facing backwards. That will be okay. Put your foot on the block and come on up. You've got the wall to support you, but if it feels awkward or dangerous, come off the block. Raise your hand if you're on the block. Everybody's on a block, okay. Otherwise, you need to bend your outside knee. So we've got the outside leg, and we're going to take the leg forward and back, swinging it. Hip release. This is so good for the hips. Forward and back. And now we're going to pause and take the outside leg in half an X. So this leg crosses in front of the standing leg and to the back at a diagonal. So we're making half an X. I always tend to add my arm here. My arm wants to go along with my leg, so I let it. 2, 1. And the next thing we're going to do, how's that standing leg? Mine needs a break. I'm putting my foot down for a second. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is a hip cleaner, clearing out stuck energy and stuck whatever's that's in the hip. So we're going to bend the outside knee, take the outside knee across and back. Yeah, a lot of hip action here. Nice. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's step off, shake it out, inhale and exhale. I don't think you can see me if I go across to the other wall. If you have a chair, move to the opposite side of your chair. If you're at the wall and you don't have another wall, you can just turn backwards. You know what we're doing. You don't really have to see this, okay? So we're arms width distance from arm's length or slightly less. We've got the foot closest to the chair or wall on the block, other leg, stand tall, forward and back. So sometimes, like, you might be just standing in your kitchen and you find a cookbook, right? And you're like, I only look up my recipes online. This cookbook would make a good support for my foot as I hold on to the countertop and do these nice little hip releases. Yeah? Yeah, I think so. And keep going forward and back. And pause. Now we're going to make half an X with the other leg. Across to the front and diagonal back. And then pause, and we're going to bend the outside knee, take it across and back, hip cleaners, yeah. Yes. And just 2 more times, 1, 2, and then come off. And if you have a chair, get it out of your way. Put the block off near your mat. We're going to use it again pretty soon. And just once again, come to your mountain pose. Visualize everything. When we open up the hips, it also releases a lot of energy. And physically, it helps break up deposits and plaques that might be in there. All right, so let's work our way down. Come to the top of your mat. Inhale, float your arms up. Exhale, swan dive over those hip creases. Remember, any swan dive at any point in your practice goes where you want it to go. High, low, medium, anywhere in between. Hands to the thighs, bend the knees and hips, shine your heart forward. Sink the hips down. Oh, how do your hips feel after you just worked on them? And let's step back to downward facing dog from here. We're gonna bend one knee and then the other, really focusing on those feet and liberating the toes as you roll over the feet. Now, if down dog isn't your thing right now, hands on a wall or a chair, same thing. All right, press one heel down and hold. Press the other heel down and hold. Press 2 heels down and hold. Knees to the mat. Try and get both knees there at the same time. Sit off to the side. And let's find seated mountain pose. Okay, we're looking for a balance in the sit bones and a long spine. So this long spine isn't just for when you're doing yoga, right? This long spine, come back to it during the day. Notice when you're sitting, are you sitting nice and upright? Okay? All right. Go ahead and shake things out a little bit. have your block nearby. I'm going to put mine on the other side so it doesn't impede your view. We're going to do some toe taps and heel taps for our core. Yay, time for that. So let's roll down. And we're going to start with our spine on the mat, 2 feet on the mat. Take your right knee up, tap the toe down. Right knee up, tap the toe down. One more, right knee, tap down. Now do it on the left. Left and tap, left and tap, left and tap. Now we're going to add on, so you can, if this doesn't work for you, you can go and do what we were just doing. This time we're going to take the right knee up, and as the toe taps down, take the left knee up. Left. So we're alternating in midair. You might feel this a little more. 3, 2, and 1, and bring the feet down. That's how it feels to do it without the block. Now your back and your body are going to tell you whether doing it with the block is a good idea for you today. So take your block, set it under your hips, under your sacrum, actually. Hands down. We'll start with 2 feet on the mat. Right knee tap 3 times. Right knee tap. Is this okay for you, or should you remove the block? Left side, tap, tap, and tap. All right, alternate. Switch and switch. Switch and switch, switch and switch, switch and switch, and bring both feet down. Okay, if the block isn't for you, you're going to do it without the block. It's the same thing we were just doing, right? Okay, so here we go. You're either going to do the one side at a time or the switch. On or off the block. Let's go. Okay, keep going for a moment here. And bring the feet down. Okay, so if you're on a block, you're in a supported back bend. If you're on the mat, you're just resting your spine. Inhale and exhale. We're going to turn this into a heel tap. If toe tap on the block didn't work for you, heel tap on the block is not for you today either. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the right knee up. Now extend your right leg as your heel taps down, so it's up and in. So we're tapping the heel down and bringing the knee back in. One more on the right, and bring your right foot down. Left knee up, heel tap. You might notice as you extend your leg, the body might want to start rocking. Part of your work is keeping the body from rocking. One more. And bring that left foot down. We're going to do a few alternating heel taps. Okay, if that doesn't work for you, you go back right and left. Just do 2 right, 2 left until we're done. Just keep switching. All right, so feet start down. Right leg, heel, left, heel, right, heel, left, heel. Heel taps. Much more challenging with the legs extending. There's a lot more work here. 3 and 2 and 1. All right, bring those feet down, come off the block, and let your spine just relax on the earth. Take a couple of breaths. And now we're just going to let the knees gently open and close. All right. So So we opened up the hips on the block. We're going to do just a little more with that. Extend the arms and legs and draw your right knee in. That left knee can bend or stay straight, whatever it wants to do. Hold on to your shin or your hamstring. Just get a nice release in the hip. Extend your right leg, arms overhead. Ardha Appanasana, right half limb removing pose on the left here. Extend and take both knees in. That feels pretty relaxing for the spine. And then if you want to rock around side to side, just give your spine a good morning massage. All right. And come back to center. Bring your feet down and just assess how things are feeling. And then we'll come to hands and knees. So coming into tabletop. All right, remember you can do this air push-up. You can do push-ups at the wall or with your hands on a chair. Or you can be on your hands and knees with your arms extended long, knee down plank, push up, hips back. It could be a knee up plank if you prefer. Hips back. So you're coming plank to hips back, plank to hips back. It could be standing with your arms back in the air or kneeling. Your hands could be on a wall. We are strengthening those arms. Oh, yes, we are. And the next time you press back, come into child's pose, supporting the head. Yeah, that was exciting. All right, while you're in child's pose, take a moment to just visualize internally how things are going. And then think in your mind, well, how am I feeling about my practice? Remember, this is your practice. You can always change things up to make them best for you. Find your way to a downward facing dog. And start to bring your feet to your hands. Take them wider as you walk up until they wind up mat width distance apart. Bring your forearms to your thighs. Press your palms together. Square off those feet. Find the four corners. Press through the feet, up the legs, fingertips up toward the sky as you inhale. And as you exhale, step back to mountain pose. Where's your mountain pose now? How are things? Align it. Take a couple of breaths. Notice how the breath is moving, how the energy is moving. All right, and shake things out. Okay, so we're going to do some brush hands. This has been fairly energetic. So before we move into sun salutations, we're going to just let things settle down with some brush hands. So your feet are wider than hip width distance and the toes are turning out. And once again, standing on all four corners of the feet, the knees are going to go over the toes. And keep this nice and gentle. Just draw your arms up and brush your hands down the wall. It's just an up and down. All right, and finish up, and now we're going to brush hands to the side. So turn your right toes to the side. Once again, we're square on the feet. We're turning our bodies toward the right. Hands up, and you can go down and up with a forward fold. Let your right knee bend and straighten. Or if it feels better for you, you can just stay straight up. Brushing hands. And take it up and turn to the left, square off that left foot and down and up. Add the fold if it feels good to you. One more. And come up. All right, let's heel toe the feet back together, shake things out, and get ready for a nice sun salutation. Okay, all right. We're going to be adding a low crescent lunge, so make sure if you want extra padding for your knees that it's nearby, okay? And remember, your fallback is, you can always flip up the edge of your mat for extra padding as well. So let's come to the top of the mat in mountain pose. Take a couple of breaths. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Remember, high, low, anywhere in between. Hands to the thighs, hips back, half lift, shine your heart forward, sink the hips down, hands to the mat. We step back with the right leg coming into a lunge. And if you want to move around in that lunge a little bit, enjoy it. The right knee is coming down, it's behind the hip, left knee over left ankle, and float the arms up. We're in a low crescent lunge. Yeah. And just bring the hands down. Find your way to a plank. Knees up or knees down, plank. Good, and chaturanga. All right, we're going to bring the hands by the thighs. So hands back, you're gazing toward your mat. Turn your palms up to face the sky here. And just lift the palms and lift the heart. So top half of a locust variation. And release. Let's go back into that. Lift the palms, lift the heart. The head just stays in line with the spine. And maybe lift the legs. And release. And we'll do that one more time. Lift the palms, lift the heart. Lift the legs. And release. Hands under your shoulders. Find your way to downward facing dog. All right. Take a couple of breaths here. Good. Take your right leg up. Take a big step forward. Bring your left knee down and arrange yourself for a low crescent lunge with the left knee behind the hip, right knee over the right ankle. Just take the time to arrange yourself, okay? And float the arms up, low crescent lunge. Okay, we release the hands, tuck the toes, lift that back knee. Now engage all of your muscles, super strong, okay? We barely need the hands here. We take a big step forward with the back foot, half lift, nice forward fold. Four corners of the feet are grounded as we inhale, floating the arms up, palms touch, and hands come heart center. All right, we're going to do it starting on the left, the same exact way, okay? Why? So that you can just flow through it without having to think so much that any change is coming. We're just doing the same thing, just starting on the other side. So here we go, feet are hip width distance. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale into your swan dive. It could go a different place each and every time. Half lift. Sink it down, hands to the mat. Left leg back for the lunge. Left knee down, low crescent lunge. Hands down, plank. All right, knees up or knees down, plank at the wall. Chaturanga. Okay, coming back to that locust. If you're at a wall or a chair, leave one hand on the wall or chair and raise your right arm and your left leg and release. If you're on the mat, 2 arms, 2 legs up and release. Right, we're doing that locust variation. Good. Take it down. Hands under the shoulders. Downward facing dog. There you go. Now, if down dog ever is a place that you're not wanting to be, you can do table or you put your hands on the wall or the chair. Left leg up, left foot steps forward, right knee down. Arrange yourself for the crescent lunge. So wiggle your left foot more forward if that's what it takes, the right knee more back, and then come into your low crescent lunge. Beautiful, good. Bring the hands down, tuck your toes. We're engaging all the muscles of the body, super strong here. And giant step forward, half lift, yeah, forward fold. Good, and float the arms out and up as your palms touch. And your hands come to heart center.
Hi, Logan.
And release. All right, shake it out. Okay, so we're going to move into some balance on the block. Okay. Once again, you could be near the wall or have your chair handy. We're going to try the block and just leave it out if it's not working for us. Okay, so your block, and we'll start with the right foot on the block. Okay, start to straighten your right leg and put your left foot near the block. And then just let that left foot float up. Fix your gaze. Keep your mind calm. Let the left foot float up and see if this feels like an acceptable place for you to be today. Okay, we're going to come down and switch sides. The right, this is your left foot. Left foot's on the block. Straighten your left leg. If it feels right, let your right toes float off the mat. And release. Okay, if you're going to use the block, keep the block there. If you're not going to use the block, then you'll do this without the block. Okay, so here we go. We've got the right foot back on the block. We let the left foot come up. Hands to the hips, steady gaze, and start to take your left foot. We're starting to come into tree. Left foot to the right leg. Could be lower, higher, and then if you're feeling steady, if you feel uncomfortable, I hope you have a chair or a wall nearby, or come off the block. And release. Is everybody okay? Everybody has what they need. Remember, the block is optional. It makes it, more challenging. Okay, we're going left foot on the block. Straighten the left leg. Hands to the hips. Start to bring the right foot. Where does it belong right now? Maybe you wobble and you come in and out of this. That's okay. Hands to the heart. We're working toward a tree here. Steady gaze. Yes, and release. All right, some of you are getting jiggy with this already. I see that. Okay. So depending on how that felt for you, we're going to do it one more time on each side. So here's your right foot on the block. coming into tree. And you might start to get a little jiggy with the hands. And bring your hands together and step off. And then move to the other side, left foot on the block, come into your tree. And you might try moving come back and release. Take it down, shake it out. Ugh. All right, great. So let's put the block off to the side now. And we're going to try tree with no block. Okay? So just to sense the difference between standing on the block and standing directly on the earth when we balance. Okay? So let's go ahead and we're starting with the left leg coming into tree. How does that feel? And release. Okay, left foot down, right leg, tree. And release. All right, one more tree each side. Let's go. Left leg, tree, and maybe you start to move those arms again. Maybe you stay steady. Bring the hands to center. Release. Right foot tree. And possibly move the arms. What happens if you go off balance and you come back? You're training your body. And release. All right, come to standing and just breathe. See if you can feel a nice sense of balance. Inhale and exhale. All right. Okay, we're going to do some forward folding here with the feet hip width distance apart. Float the arms up and keep the knees and hips soft as you come into a forward fold. We just want to release the spine. Take opposite hand to opposite elbow here and move around in your ragdoll here. Just start to sense what needs to release and how can you do that. And then come back to center, and as you start to straighten your legs, let your forearms melt a little closer to the earth. There's your hamstrings. Now release your hands, take them to your hips. Bend the knees and hips and just come halfway up. Long spine. And then start to press through the feet and come up. Feet are square, arms down. Inhale and exhale. All right, so now we're going to take the arms up and keeping the legs straight, fold over those hip creases. Fold, fold, fold. Wherever the hands land, they land. Could be thighs, shins, they might be touching the mat. And feel those hamstrings, inhale and exhale. Are your feet square, all four corners? Bring your hands to your hips. With a long spine, just come halfway up. Halfway from wherever you are. And then pressing through the feet, long spine, come the rest of the way up. Good, and shake things out. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of adductor release and then wide-legged forward folding. So for the adductors, that's the inner thighs here, put your hands on your hips and take a big step to the right, bend the right knee, you feel that left inner thigh. Come center and take it to the other side. Okay, so we're going side to side. Now, the next time you step to the right, stay there. Put two hands on your right leg, because the knee is bent there, and turn your toes up. Anybody feel that? Turn your left toes up. There you go. Feeling it in here? Press your left foot toward the mat and up, mat and up, mat and up, and come back to center. Take it over to the left. Stay here, two hands on your left leg. Spin your right foot open and take the right toes up. We're feeling the adductors here. And tap the right toes down and up, down and up, down and up. One more, down and up, and take it center. Come on up, heel toe the feet, and shake the legs out. All right, so now a couple of wide-legged forward folds. Take your legs pretty wide, like warrior two kind of wide. Okay, the toes are forward or slightly turned in. Your index fingers are on your hip creases. Your spine stays long, hips stay over the ankles as you fold halfway forward. Take a breath here. Take several breaths. Press through the feet to lift up. Okay, remember you could be going higher. Now we're going to take it as far down as you want to go. Fold from the hip creases. You can stop high, middle, or you can continue down. Let your hands roll down your legs as far as appropriate. If your hands come to your feet, put your peace sign fingers under your big toes and rest your thumbs on top of your big toes. And we're in a wide-legged forward fold here. Now bring your hands back to your hips. Come halfway up from where you are. Long spine. Come the rest of the way up, pressing through the feet. And heel toe, shake things out. Okay, so let's go ahead and just move around. Communicate with your body. See what the body's telling you to do as we prepare to head down back down to the mat. Okay, we'll have the strap nearby and anything else you want. If it's a blanket or an eye pillow or a bolster for under your knees and final relaxation, whatever is going to suit you this morning. When you're ready, come to the top of your mat, find your mountain pose. Okay, assess where everything is. What did your feet do? Are they starting to get used to the idea of being four corners of the feet on the mat? Where are your shoulders? Are they in line with the hips? Where are the ears? We're in mountain pose. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Okay, we're going to do our half lift with straight legs here. So just bring your hands to your legs and shine your heart forward. Half lift here. All right, now bend the knees and hips, bring the hands down, and find your way to down dog. Okay, you could always go straight to table. You could be doing your dog at the wall or on a chair. And take a few breaths in down dog. And let your hips go side to side. Your knees will move. Come back to center, release the knees to the mat, sit off to the side, and find seated mountain pose. So just like we find that equal standing, we're finding equal sitting here. Inhale and exhale. And shake things out. All right, so 2 nice soft forward folds. Just inhale the arms up and just melt forward. Roll your hands up your legs, inhale the arms up, and once again, just melt. And roll your hands up your legs, shake things out, grab your strap, and come down to the mat. Okay, you're going to put the strap around the ball of your left foot, your right foot. Okay, so your right foot, and flex your right foot so that it's parallel to the ceiling, to the sky. And your left knee can stay bent here. We've got one hand on either side of the block, either side of the strap. Inhale and exhale. And now just breathe into your right leg. Let those toes come back a little farther. Avoid tugging with the strap. Let the breath just move that right leg farther back. And now release the right leg back to vertical. And one more time, draw back. And release to vertical. Okay, we're doing that on the left side, so now put the left ball of the left foot in. Left foot is flexed. One hand on either side of the strap. We breathe the left leg back. And release to vertical. And one more time, breathe the left leg back. And release to vertical. Go ahead and bend your knee and put the strap off to the side. Let your spine be in neutral for a moment, hands down by your side. And let your knees open and close, little butterfly wings here. All right. We're going to take the arms and legs long. Inhale. Exhale. Draw just the right knee in. If the left knee chooses to bend right now, that's fine too. So we're back in Ardha Appanasana. Now we're going to take this to a half happy baby. Hold on to your right foot. Flex the foot and turn it up. Turn the foot. Sole foot up toward the sky. So your right knee is coming towards your right armpit. Okay, let that left leg do what it needs to do to facilitate this Ardha Appanasana to half happy baby. Okay, let's release both legs long. Inhale. Exhale, this time just the left leg comes in. Taking it to half happy baby. Left foot is flexed. Left knee is heading toward the left armpit. And release, 2 arms, 2 legs long as you inhale, and 2 knees in. Appanasana. This is called wind removing pose, the Appanasana. All right. Take a breath here. And now we come into full happy baby, feeling that nice stretch. And now, go ahead and rock side to side, getting a nice little spinal massage here. Okay, release the hands down by your side, release the feet to the mat, and take your right foot up just enough so that you can point and flex the foot. And circle the ankle one direction and the other. Release, take it up, point and flex. On the other side, circle one direction and the other. Good, and bring your left foot down. All right, so we're going to take the arms long out. The feet are hip width distance on the mat. Take the arms long and extend the fingers long, wiggle them into a fist, and feel the energy moving all the way up to your shoulders as you extend those fingers and wiggle them. And then rotate the wrists one direction and the other. Okay, bring your arms back down to the mat and gently turn your head from side to side. Bringing your head back to center, start to feel into your body. If any movement is required before you can settle down, any realignment that's needed for you so that you can come into a nice settled final relaxation position. Should your knees be straight? Should they be bent? Do you have a bolster you want to put under the knees to give them a little lift? Just work your way around. And coming into a nice settled alignment, someplace where you feel like you can stay for a couple of minutes without feeling the need to move. Inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, just notice the earth supporting you and just release yourself into the support of the earth. Just let your breath move in and out without any help from you and be in your final relaxation. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Invite a deeper breath. Bring movement back to your body, wiggle fingers and toes. And as you inhale, extend your arms and legs long. exhale, draw your knees in, give yourself a hug. Find your way over to a side. And come back up to a nice easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.